Welcome back, YouTube, for another market analysis for the London session and potentially into the US session. Now, during yesterday's London session, we did have a move to the upside here on S&P 500. And then into the US session, you saw we gradually pulled down. Levels were the same though as we came into our support levels. We looked for some support bounces and moved up. And same thing with resistance. We looked for some resistance and moved the price back down. Now, when we look at S&P 500 on this 10-tick chart, what are we looking for tonight? Market long-term wise is still bullish, so we want to keep that in mind, but we got to look out for our levels of support. You see we have a minor level of support sitting somewhere around these 0875s to maybe about oh 07, right around here. So we are looking to see if this catches some support, but we want to be able to know what we're looking at as we're coming down, right? We had a strong level of resistance here. Markets came back under this level of resistance, and prior to that, we had a strong level of resistance up here at about 2021, and that's where markets started to gradually pull down. Now, if we continue to stay underneath these 1350s, we will see the market try to pull into a strong level. Now, the strong level is going to be between these 03 to 04s. That could be a good bounce level. We're going to look out for that. But again, markets have pulled down as low as these 95, 97 areas. So we could see the market gradually pull into that area if we don't break it. Wait for that V bottom or maybe an inverse head and shoulders. Look for the support here again and then gradually try to pull this back. We're going to see resistance first at these 11 to 12s. That's been a good level of resistance pretty much all day and was again that same area over here during the London session, and then we started to make a support on top. So we want to keep out for what we could be seeing in the London session tonight. That's going to be our levels. Now, really, where we get our bearish move is actually going to be underneath these 92.50s. And if you want to be more conservative, probably underneath these 87s. But if you get below this level of 92.50, you can see where we gapped up on Sunday. That could actually cause a move or a transition into a bearish move. All right, so we want to keep that in mind. That's where we're really going to start to look for our bearish moves. If we're trying to get the shorts from, say, down here back into support, we're still bullish in the long term. So we do want to look out for our supports as the market moves into it. If you're looking for resistance, again, first level, somewhere around these 12 to 1350s is where we're holding the resistance right now. If you're targeting anything below these 08s, you're going to look at these 03 to 04s first, and then below that 97. 75 to 97.50. That's your first areas of bounce of support. Now, if we do start to gradually climb, look for this market to maybe use these 12s as support and then try to pull back into these 20s. Back above these 20s could then pull price back into our next levels of resistance, which is probably going to be somewhere around these 24s, 27s, and then potentially 30s. All right, I think that S&P does have an opportunity to maybe climb into 3,700 before the year end close. So we got to look out for that. But we want to keep in mind we don't want to hold too much of a bias, but we want to play off of what the market is giving us, not creating our own levels, but using the market levels to our advantage. So yeah, we do see markets pulling down. So into the London session, if we're still respecting these levels, we'll look to play off of them. But again, remember we have this level of resistance, 1350 to about 12. That should pull us down into our supports, 03 to 04, strong major level of support. So want to keep that eye out for that level. Now let's take a look at a 5-tick here real quickly for you guys so we can see if there's any smaller movement. You guys can see kind of cleaner up on this chart. Again, nice rotational movement. 1, 2, 3 bounces. Got an opportunity for the move down. Nice pullback again. Some opportunities of resistance to pull price down. Good opportunities there. We should see support coming in between these 03 to 04s. And then again, you're going to be looking at those 97s to 95s. Now we flip. If we get a nice V bottom, it's going to be a nice opportunity back to the upside. But if we get below those 92s, you can look to start to transition that trend back to the downside. But in the meantime, just keep looking out. We don't get below these 92s. We're still in a bullish market. Keep that in mind and look to trade off their support levels. Let's take a look at gold here real quickly for you guys for the London session. Gold looking like a nice move up. We're still trending to the upside. What do we have as far as supports? We got nice level of 1885.5 as a first interest level of support here on this 10-tick chart. You can see how much times we bounced off and we continue to climb. We got a nice high here, and we came back underneath these 92.9s to fall right back into support. So what are we looking at here? We're still looking at a bullish move. Now we're going to be in a sideways range right here. Right, this is going to be your range of motion here. You got a level of support, and then you got a level of resistance sitting right in this area here. So nice little range. If you're going to play that tight range, you can see range right around 86.6. You can look for that support bounce and then try the upside here back into the resistance of 1890.1. Now, if it's still going to move bullish, you're going to see this nice trend channel maybe hold and the price try to pull up into these 92.9s. Again, you're still in a bullish trend long term, so you want to keep that in mind and play according to the actual trend. If you want to be more conservative, 85.5 is going to be your conservative area of support. Below that, you're going to be looking at 1881.8. That is going to be your level of support. Now, we get below 81, you're going to probably see this market try to gradually pull back into these 1876s. So you want to keep that in mind. If you get below and get that resistance, look for the market to turn down and then try to attack that. You might have a minor level here. You see this little area right here could cause a little bit of support, 79.1. But below that, you're going to see a little bit of a fall off right into these 76s, and below that you're going to see somewhere around 69. So we'll pay attention to that. Let's look at a 5-tick here real quickly to give you guys maybe a closer idea of what we're looking at on gold. So 5-tick pulled up. You can see our minor level that we're looking at between 86 to 87. Nice little support bounces here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and price coming right back into it. Now if it holds this level, right, you can get an opportunity. You can see prior level of a peak high here could turn into your support right in this area and make its way right back into those 1890s. Given that you're still running a bullish move, you can have a nice opportunity there. You want to be real conservative. You can see how the market did a nice V bottom right here and then consolidated for a little bit before pulling up. A conservative move is going to be somewhere around these 85.5s. Look for that bounce of support here, and then maybe a double bottom, right? You can get a inverse head and shoulders. You can get a 2-try failure. Either way, you're going to see that support hold, and then you're going to try the upside. Now, if you're trying to short this, you can see we're underneath. Got some clear, I guess you'd say clear levels of prior resistance turning into resistance again, right? These resistance peaks could actually pull price right back down. So if we get back up to that level, look for that resistance, that failure to get through. It might even pop through, right? But if it fails to stay on top, look for that market to get right back underneath and then use that opportunity to trade that back down to support, right? This consolidation may last for a little bit. We'll see. But if we do get back underneath those 85s, you're going to be looking for that drift down into 81, and below that you're going to be looking somewhere around these 80 to 79s, right? Alrighty, so that sums it up for the London session, S&P 500 and gold. If these levels are respected throughout the London session, you can actually look to play them into the US session as well. So keep an eye out for them. Even if you're away from them, you can still look for price to get back into these levels and look to see how they structure themselves out and try to play them. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, please smash that like button. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in on YouTube. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you guys are, I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys take care. Have a great night.